Good evening and welcome to tonight's news update. I'm Judith, and here are your top headlines. First, dengue fever continues to pose a serious threat in Malaysia, with a 17% increase in deaths reported this year. The government is ramping up efforts to combat the Aedes mosquito through fogging, Wolbachia-infected mosquitoes, and a newly approved dengue vaccine. Next, in international news, the U.S. Secret Service shot an armed man near the White House after a tense confrontation. The individual, who was reportedly suicidal, pointed a firearm at officers before being taken to the hospital. And finally, in Australia, tropical cyclone Alfred has left hundreds of thousands without power in Queensland, with flash floods and damaging winds causing widespread disruption. Now, let's dive deeper into these stories with Onat.
Thank you, Judith. Let's start with the dengue situation in Malaysia. Despite a slight drop in cases this year, dengue remains a significant concern. The government has intensified efforts, including regular fogging, the release of Wolbachia-infected mosquitoes, and the introduction of the dengue vaccine. However, health experts are calling for stricter fines for mosquito breeding and wider implementation of the Wolbachia program. Shifting to international news, the U.S. Secret Service confronted an armed man near the White House on Sunday. The individual, who was reportedly suicidal, pointed a firearm at officers, leading to shots being fired. The man was hospitalized, and no Secret Service personnel were injured. And in Australia, tropical Cyclone Alfred has caused chaos in Queensland, leaving over 300,000 people without power. The storm brought heavy rains and damaging winds, with flood warnings still in effect. Authorities are assessing whether schools and services can reopen safely. Back to you, Judith.
Thank you, Onat. To recap, dengue remains a threat in Malaysia, with ongoing government efforts to curb the spread. In the US, an armed confrontation near the White House led to a shooting by Secret Service agents. And in Australia, Cyclone Alfred has left thousands without power, with recovery efforts underway. That's all for tonight's evening news. Stay safe and informed. I'm Judith, and we'll see you next time.